Hi, Michigan. This is Gary Vroom Jr. with Century 21 Curran Oberski. Now, there seems to be a lot of panic surrounding the real estate market today, so I'd like to illustrate three big key components as to why we're not necessarily in the same predicament as we were in '07 and '08. Starting off by looking at the mortgage lending practices. In '07 and '08, you could have a 580 credit score, low down payment, and the bank was going to give you an adjustable rate mortgage. No problem. Banks and mortgage lending companies were handing out mortgage loans left and right like candy on Halloween, literally. A few months later, the Federal Reserve raised the Fed fund rate, which raises interest rates, which they recently did. So your adjustable rate mortgage skyrocketed in interest rate. You could no longer afford the monthly payment. The home value came crashing down. The banks and the mortgage companies were now no longer willing to refinance your loan because your mortgage was worth more than what your house was worth. So then everybody from an 8-year old to an 80-year old started hearing the word foreclosure almost every day, right? So that leads us to the second and third big key components that I'll talk about at the same time because they're intertwined. It is inventory and demographics. Demographics play a huge role. I don't think many people catch on to that part. What we know, inventory wise, in 2007 and 2008, there were 3.7 million homes for sale. Okay? 3.7 million homes for sale. We also know the average age of a first time home buyer in America is 33 years old. So if we go back 33 years before 2007, we land at 1974. The late 60s, early 70s saw one of the biggest, if not the biggest, decline in birth rates the United States has ever seen. 1973, abortion was legalized. We had the war. Feminism was becoming extremely large. Family planning was different. There was less babies being produced, okay? So if we go back to 2022, we have the millennials now out here. The millennials are in the same population size as the baby boomers. Millennials are essentially the biggest population on earth right now. So looking back at 2007 and 2008, you had one of the smallest generations trying to buy homes with very terribly strengthened loans with all kinds of homes available, 3.7 million. Let me talk about that inventory today. We are at an all-time low in the United States history of houses for sale. 400,000 homes are for sale in the United States of America in 2022. That is an all-time low. '07, '08, 3.7 million. Today, 400,000. And again, we'll talk about the demographics. We have the millennials and Generation Z coming behind them. But the millennials are now entering the home buying field for the first time in their lives with the all-time low inventory. The mortgage lending practices have also been cleaned up, and that's very sophisticated. So I don't see any real devaluing or deappreciation coming with home prices in the near future. The Fed did just raise the Fed fund rate, so I will expect to see some fluctuation in the mortgage rates. I don't expect double digits at all. And in fact, I actually expect them to possibly come down here in the next few months because the Fed tries to get out in front of inflation, raising the interest rates. So it sort of combats itself and it's supposed to quiet it all down. But we can look at inventory and its historic low, and we can look at demographics and its historic high, and we can put that together using common sense that the demand and competition is going nowhere, and we could really just now beginning to see this is the start of a very high competition in the housing market. The real problem we're having in real estate is inventory. The builders can't keep up with supply shortages, even chip shortages. Here's another kicker. Microchips, you need neon gas to make a microchip. Guess who is responsible for 90% of the world's neon gas? Ukraine. Go figure, right? So basically, we can still expect to see a lot of fluctuation within the mortgage rates, but I do not see very much fluctuation, especially drops in home prices. So I hope that helps clear things up. I recommend this was really just to say I would not wait to make a move in real estate. You could always refinance when the mortgage rates drop. As far as home prices go, I think this is what we're going to be dealing with for quite a while here. So I hope that clears things up and you guys enjoy the rest of your day.